engaging, that resonate in me. And then these pictures start emerging, and I write about those pictures.
And
so the lyrics come from those, like a movie, like a music video.
Sure.
Literally, it plays out.
I would assume your experience in video probably enhances that ability to be able to see that imagery when you're putting those songs together.
It does, and one of the really cool things about working when Mark Romanek and I were working together, collaborating on all these music videos, I was more of his visualist, but for me it was great because I got to be close to music and the really great tracks. But you find out in those music videos we did that they live in harmony. The visuals and the song live in harmony, and they're just this beautiful piece together. That's why they work so well. And then again, you kind of get into the extremes of just kind of going in a different direction. My very last music video was Shania Twain's "I'm Gonna Get You Good." I wrote that.
Cool.
And the director came to me and it's like, I kind of have this bass idea, and it really wasn't that thick. And I was like, okay, well, let's get down to the fundamental basis. It was kind of like my leaving the music video world by doing probably one of the biggest anti-videos. Had nothing to do with the song.
Yeah.
It was, it was going into this futuristic world and made it a video game. She wanted to capture the younger audience.
Right.
And that's exactly what it did. It won the CMT Flameworthy Award.
Yeah.
It won Canadian everything.
Wow. That's cool.
So that was, that was one of those things that, again, but it paired well with the music, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so that's as far as, how the visuals, if you listen to the stories in the track, they pair exceedingly well with the music. And you're right, it does play out like a music video. I think it has that enhanced value.
So the record is called California, and you are presently on tour or getting ready to go. How will you present that to your listeners?
Well, it's interesting. That's a really that's a loaded question.
Okay.
It's all good. I have played out. I had a concert literally 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Very beautiful, intimate one, and just seeing how things are and working out any kinks as you should. It went beautifully. I think that I took a step back and I said, well, I'm not going to play bars. I'm not going to go into that world. I like things that are more proper concert. A lot of bands get stuck into that mode. I said, well, what experience can I do that is going to be really unique to myself and what I'm doing and to my fans? And I have, remember I talked about, I have this huge archive of photographs, 30s, 40s, 50s. So what I'm going to do is we're calling it the gallery tour. And I'm in the process of going through hundreds and hundreds of Ektachrome slides and photographs from that time. And I'm going to be doing gallery performances where I will be playing in a gallery with these pictures.
Oh, cool.
On display.
Yeah.
And they will be for sale as well. This is the whole thing of really, I'm committing a great deal of time and effort and money to the expansion of this Western genre.
Okay.
And it's to be inclusive, because when you go play a lot of venues, it's like, okay, you're either people are at the bar having a good time, nothing the matter with that, or they're there to hear kind of a mixture of both. Hopefully people are attentive, which most are. But it comes down to really giving the experience when people walk through that door, that they are experiencing the whole world of what I'm bringing forth and talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't see anybody really doing that. I mean, some performance artists have done it. Some people have done videos and kind of things that coincide with that. I have a bigger story.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to be, I love it. I mean, I look at this stuff and I'm excited about it. And if you're excited about it, then, other people get excited about it when they're introduced to it.
Yeah. And with the tone of, quote, country music changing, it's almost like it's leaving the door open for what's authentic to kind of move in or move back in and kind of take its rightful place back where it started from, which kind of feels like what I hear you saying that you're attempting
exactly
to do
right.
with this.
You nailed it. You freaking nailed it on that comment.
Yeah,
absolutely. That was a very well put.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I am. You have to embrace it. And there's a history here.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like the same thing of like analog. All of a sudden, of course, vinyl's hot. All of that.
Right. Sure.
But
sure.
it's like we all had our massive collections on it. But I also have my grandparents' collections. I've had all. I even had. I'm the youngest of a kind of a Brady Bunch marriage,
mm-hmm.
And so when I was really young, my brother was like the jam master on the submarine.
Okay, cool.
Purposes.
Yeah.
And so I'm this young kid. I'm not even 6 years old, and it comes on me and hands me a Sony cassette player, which was incredible. It was detachable speakers. This is the tail end of Vietnam.
Okay.
And so this is kind of almost whatever early mid 70s in that area, and hands me every imaginable import, everything you could possibly imagine.
Wow.
And I just sat there for, I think, ever since that point. I mean, I always loved the Beatles. I loved everything else, but just to have that, and just to bake on it was incredible.
Wow.
But also, with my grandparents growing up listening to Porter Wagner, listening to Johnny Cash, listening to the Cars. There's that whole influx of what became classic rock. The influence of the country, the influence of moving to Virginia, and you're right. It's basically all this inclusive thing, but also where people have kind of, I wouldn't say people have moved it on. It was the record companies that killed the genre of Western.
Oh, right, sure.
And they basically just weren't seeing any sales in it. And I'm toting the flag that had Western continued, and we skipped the needle forward 50 years, here's where it would be.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So when does this start for you? When will people be able to have an opportunity to experience this?
We're looking more in July.
Okay.
We're going to have a few small shows in June. What that's doing is just kind of, I have a lot of kind of people to appease right now, if you might call it, as I'm working on it, because there's a lot of people that want shows, and I have to gear up for that, because even getting the photos ready, getting all of those things in the venues set up for tour is it's a chess game. And the last thing you want to be doing in that chess game is just ping-ponging from market to market.
Sure.
You want to make it as smooth as possible.
Yeah.
So what we're going to concentrate on is the West Coast, for starters. Just working California on the radius of LA, and then moving north. And actually, Virginia's probably going to get a concert sooner than most East Coast places.
Cool.
Because I have so many friends in Virginia and fans. And it's because we've also marketed to that area in North Carolina, Raleigh parts. There's a lot of people that really get it, even through Tidewater. So I'm looking at a Roanoke and a Richmond show, and probably down in Raleigh. Yeah, and that's that quarter in Asheville. It's like kind of keeping that circle. So what I'm doing is kind of setting up a circle area and keeping that consistent. I have some radio interviews I have to do. One's in Columbia. That's going to happen in the fall. And some things are pretty far out, but they'll be here quickly. Yeah. And so there'll be a time when I have that, and be able to make sure that everybody has a good heads up. Yeah. Well,
I will keep my eyes out. I'll be excited, and that sounds like a neat show to experience, more than just listen to. So I look forward to being able to do that and enjoy that with you. It sounds fun. Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Americana Music Profiles. Find us on iTunes at Americana Music Profiles and on the internet at AmericanaRhythm.com.